Hey, what's going on, folks? This is CJ here. Before the start of this episode, just want to take time out to talk about Ranger Stop and PopCon. I had the pleasure a few years ago of attending this convention. It is a Power Ranger focused convention with a little bit of a dabble on the pop culture scene as well. Uh, it's in Atlanta. Definitely have fun, chopping it up with fellow fans and also getting a chance to talk to a lot of Ranger actors as well. This year is its final year, and it is going to be, they're really going all out and really making sure this is a special year for everyone that's attending. We're getting a full team reunion of Power Rangers Mystic Force with the actors, and we're also getting a full reunion of Power Rangers Time Force with the actors as well. So this is going to be great, and that's on top of the other guests from other seasons of Power Rangers as well. It's definitely going to be phenomenal. It is going to be held at the Omni Atlanta Hotel at Centennial Park, June 13th through the 15th. So if you haven't already, go to rangerstopatlanta.com and get your tickets. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hey, you'll probably see me there and see, again, a lot of other fellow Ranger fans as well. Again, don't want to miss it. So with that in mind, onward to the episode.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
What is going on, people? We're back, Morphin Metacast, Kamen Rider Black RX. How's it going, Prime?
Guten Tag, mein Dude, and konnichiwa, bitches.
Konnichiwa, indeed. What has been new with you lately? I guess on the Toku front, whether it's buying toys or watching shows, like what's been new with you on that?
So I've been trying to get fully caught up on Boom Boonger. I just got to the champion jackets, and them shits is crisp.
Yeah, I got to that too.
One episode behind on Gav.
Okay.
Liking Gav, though, there are some character things that I just point out and I just kind of laugh at and have to remind myself this is a children's show selling toys. So like I can't get too hung up over it, but I don't want to spoil anything for people who are gonna watch it, but like there's just like a few minor character things, and it's not even the Japanese people can't communicate thing. Like I've accepted that is fine. But it's a piece of character writing where I feel like there was a reveal that happened that I felt that if you utilize your characters and their personalities and their backstory more efficiently, it wouldn't have seemed so kind of lazy, at least from my point of view.
Yeah.
Now,
for you, like, real quick, because you mentioned, like, you have to remember it's a kid show. Like, for you, I know we've talked to, at length online, on Twitter and X and stuff about it. Like,
haven't we, though?
Multiple times. But, like,
bro,
the
they
idea
hate our guts, bro. They fucking hate us so much.
Oh, I'll get into that. But, like, for you, when it comes to the whole thing of, I think you said as much, like, a product should be good. It shouldn't, you shouldn't excuse bad writing or whatever because it's a kid show or whatever.
Precisely.
So for you, do you hold that? Do you hold that for like Kamen Rider and Ultraman and stuff too, as well?
I hold that across the board. Like when I say something is for children, I don't mean that as a derogatory term, nor do I mean that as an excuse to excuse like lesser quality, because kids deserve quality shows. When I say something is a kids show, that's kind of like a mantra to myself to remember the target audience for the show, and what the show is designed to do. Like on that same notion, Batman the Animated Series, Avatar The Last Airbender, Ben 10, Exo Squad, Spiral Zone, Transformers, all those shows are children's shows. It's just that you should treat your audience at all times like with respect. Like what's that saying I have on Twitter a lot? Like you can think I'm stupid, just don't fucking talk to me like I'm stupid. And
just holy shit, I actually had those toys. Them toys were like flames.
Bro, listen. But just treating your audience with respect and care, because a lot of the times, and I talk about this, like if you follow me on any social media platform, I talk about this at length. I've talked about this at length on this podcast and several other podcasts that I've been guest appearances on. But just because something is for children, that doesn't give you an excuse to have lazy writing, bad characters, terrible decisions and continuity and the production design. Like, just because it's for kids, that's not just a free pass for you to be fucking terrible. And that's one thing that really bothered the fuck out of me, especially during the Hasbro era Power Rangers, whereas we couldn't discuss the quality from a critical lens, because then the people making it and like the people who like the people making it, like I wouldn't even necessarily say they like the show. They just happen to like the people making it.
Yeah.
They would just say, oh, bro, it's not that serious. It's for kids. Why are y'all looking at it like this? But then when they needed our money or wanted us to support or drum up excitement for the show, that's when they went, oh, this is about the fans and this is about the community. Suck my thick black dick. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
Listen, look, I'll save it for the segment here, but I figure if we're gonna start this off here, we gotta talk about some toys.
So about this mention, are we gonna talk about what we missed out on? Because we didn't talk about it last episode, and a lot of people wanting to hear our point of view about what Playmates over there is doing.
Okay, so Playmates is putting out, I think I mentioned it briefly on the last episode, but Toy Fair happened, and Playmates basically showed their line of the Power Rangers Reignition. So basically, you're getting the Morphin figures.
Which wrap that shit up. Like,
yeah.
Who wanted those toys for? Was this the 5th time that we've done this shit?
The combinable Dinozords.
Those didn't look that bad. They look pretty decent.
Yeah. The Power Morpher, which is going for $16.99.
Yeah, that, which I thought was, again, what did I say about Playmates? They were going to make their shit price accessible for the kids. That's a great thing. And the Blade Blaster, which is going for $19.99. They're also redoing. Do you remember those old Bandai? It wasn't 6-inch. It was like what, 8 or 7 point. Those Power Rangers, they had like little red power buckles, and they came with the little white blasters. They're doing a version of that.
Yeah.
They're also doing a line of evil space aliens. So like there's like going to be like a Rita, a Babu, a Squat, Goldar, Finster, some putties, some assorted monsters. Somebody said, why do they always do King Spinks? And I'm just like, because King Spinks looks cool as shit.
Is great.
he just looks cool, and like he was also used a lot in like the preliminary promotional shit for Power Rangers back in the day.
Oh, dude, but yeah, back in the day, like they were.
He was everywhere, and it's really because he looks cool.
You remember the commercials like new Power Rangers? Yes. And it was always that. What episode was King Sphinx? Was that episode 4 or 5?
Was it 4 or 5? I don't remember. But I remember the scene when it's like it shows him blow him away, and they're like cut to that scene of the kid playing with the toys in his house with the back wall blowed the fuck out. Yeah, I remember that shit. And they're also doing like I would guess it would be their version of the Lightning Collection. They're doing a 6-inch scale air quotes collector line Power Ranger figures with a terrible Tyranno Ranger helmet, and they left the white paint off the Pink Ranger helmet. So not a good opening salvo, in my opinion, on that line.
You
can keep that.
It's look, I'm just kind of sitting back like, all right, we'll see what happens with it.
Well, see, that's my character development that I went through, CJ, because at first I said I wasn't going to get anything because like I can't collect Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for a 4th time. I can't do that.
I can't.
I refuse.
I still have Bandai's, and I still have Lightning Collection. I can't really go another step further.
And I can hear somebody in the corner going, "What do you mean for a 4th time?" So there's the original line. Then there was the 2000s when they did the comic book style Bandai, but in between RPM and Samurai, that line, the Hasbro shit from Lightning Collection. And
did you get anything during this is before Saban bought it, the anniversary with the shitty dragon dagger that had the thing that popped,
the lightsaber that popped out? Yeah. I bought the from that line.
Yeah,
and I bought the Rangers from that line, and I bought the Dragon Shield Red Ranger, the Dragon Shield Blue Ranger, and I think I might have the Dragon Shield Pink Ranger, like the little G.I. Joe scale line.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, so I went from like I'm not getting anything to, you know, I might pick up one or two things because like in all honesty, like most of the line doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
So then I find out that Hasbro and is it Netflix or Nickelodeon? Who is their partner in crime? I think it's Netflix. Is it Netflix?
It might be Netflix.
Might be Netflix. So what they're going to do is they're going to re-release Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the 1993 show, but this time with AI upscaling. I saw that and I said, you know what? You can take all these fucking toys, you can take that fucking AI upscale, and you can go kick fucking rocks and hug my balls.
The thing is this: why? Okay, this isn't a new thing with the AI upscaling because it's not like they're not redoing the show. It's just they're upscaling the visuals.
And like, yeah, and it's gonna like, I guess, try
to
make
other shows have done that.
There was it. James Cameron just released an AI upscale of Alien, which looked fucking terrible, which looked god fucking awful.
Yeah, which it's like I get the need to like put something to modern times, but like there has to be a way to do it without it like looking
it losing like a lot of details or people's fucking faces morphing in the background or signs being read completely different. So I'll say this on the podcast and I said this on Twitter. When that AI upscale comes out, I'm gonna need you motherfuckers to all lockstep and don't give it attention. Don't watch that shit. Don't give it clicks. Don't give it engagement. Don't even fucking talk about it to post like funny memes about how terrible it looks on X, Twitter, whatever. Bro, leave that shit alone. Because like what you're gonna do is you're just gonna give them engagement because what they want, and you're rewarding less than nothing. Less than like they're just giving you warmed over nachos. Like let that shit go.
Let me tell you something. So might as well talk about it now. So then the news came out that Hasbro is producing a Power Ranger show on Disney Plus, and it's the writers of the Percy Jackson TV show, which is actually really good.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I've only watched, I think, the first episode. I haven't gone back and finished it because I canceled my Disney Plus.
Yeah, like the show's actually really good. So they're getting the writers of that show to do this Power Ranger show. But I said as much that it's hard for me to trust Hasbro to give a shit.
Because they don't. Why would you give them the benefit of the doubt at this
because
point?
my argument was like, all right, even if your argument is, hey, you know, they can do original footage, they don't have to, they're not, because I guess Toei is not involved, which means they're not doing any Sentai footage.
Which, by the way, did you see the copium, the maximum amount of copium these people, when they first announced that they were picking up a new show, and they're like, oh, they can do Tokyuger. Oh, they can do Lupin Ranger versus Panther Ranger. Oh, they can do Kira Major. Babe, I'm going to hold your hand when I say these fucking xenophobes are completely severing ties with Sentai.
And then like, when Toei said that they had no involvement with it, that solidified it. And I said as much, this doesn't bode well for me, because number one, in the era of TV shows, and I'm not even talking just Power Rangers, it's TV shows in totality, right? Companies are trying to be cheap about doing shows. That's just facts, right?
Like we talked about that. Like we talked about how the landscape has changed. Like these 50 episode TV shows and all that shit.
Like Disney, Marvel Studios had to adjust how. That's why Daredevil, they're not spending a shit ton of money. But like I said, you have veteran talent on that show. So like, yeah, of course you don't have to spend a lot of money on Daredevil. And Disney realized, okay, Marvel Studios, I should say, realized, okay, maybe we shouldn't spend a lot of money on these TV shows like that. Spend a moderate amount, obviously, because, you know, CG in certain instances, but like we got to scale it down. We don't have to really throw a shit ton of money at it. Makes sense, right? Power Rangers should be in that same category, but it's Hasbro. So they're going to try to be very cheap about it.
What's insane to me, CJ, is that the whole reason that Power Rangers exists in the first place is that it was about a cost-cutting, cost-saving measure. Is that you don't have to film any action sequences because they're already filmed for you. And like they couldn't even wrap their brains around. They didn't even want to work, bro. They didn't even want to work when half of the work is already done for them.
At most,
it's insane to me.
At most, you could film like live action stuff to splice in with the Sentai footage, which
Like
is still
continuity.
which is still cost effective because you don't have to spend a lot of money on that.
Continuity shots, just like link the scenes together.
Yeah, so that's saving you money. So
and what's
now
crazy is like they used to be a master of that shit. Cause like if you go back and like watch the Disney era or watch some of the later post turbo seasons, like they were really good at like matching and doing like linking, establishing shots to make you believe. Well, if you had a good eye, you could tell. But like you could, they did a good job of like.
It got better during the Disney era because that's when it was HD. So you were able to blend it into where you're like, hold on, which one is Sentai, which one is this? But yeah, like you said, pre like Wild Force on back, yeah, you could definitely tell. Like, all right.
No, I would say post turbo. Like I would say like they were starting to like.
Think so?
I would think so. I would say like around in space because I think about that one episode where they spliced over from Mega Ranger, where the Pink Ranger went on that date with that dude. I think that's when it started getting a little better. Yeah. With the elephant dude.
Yeah. You're right. That was actually a pretty good episode. They did a pretty good
job of splicing that shit together. And like they did, like that's all you have to do is like just create the illusion that these two different shows exist in the same, like they happen together. Like it's one show. That's the goal. That's the magic. And they used to be really good at it. And I don't know what fucking happened in between the cool down, because like who was that you I was talking to about how like when people were saying like, oh, they're gonna go do their own thing after they sold all the props in the auction. They said they're gonna go do their own thing. And I'm like, do you know how hard it is to start an engine once you stopped it?
Have you seen Cosmic Fury is peak example when you take the Zord footage off the table from Q Ranger, right? Everything about Cosmic Fury was original footage because they had those new suits that were not great. So that's your baseline of what your Power Ranger show is going to look like when you look at Cosmic Fury. And that's your baseline.
And what kills me about that shit is who asked you to do that? Like you said, oh, we made these suits this way so it'll be easy to make toys that you didn't make.
You didn't make. And the suits and I said as much, and like I said,
the concept of the suits aren't bad because I thought the art that the concept artist did for the suits look pretty decent. But it's the fact that you got people who don't understand the medium, who don't understand the craft, who think they know better, which fucking pisses me the fuck off. Who think they know better, who came around and dropped off them dog shit suits because they don't know how the medium works. Like they don't understand the craft. Like it's
the shit has to pop. And like here's the thing about Power Ranger shoots, you don't have to sit there and put muscles on the goddamn suits. Like why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because that's what kind of threw me off about the suits is that the color. It's like they didn't pop as much as they should have.
They look like parody suits. Like they look like when people say this looks like Power Rangers, that's the derogatory. That's what they mean. They mean that shit.
So it's like, that's what you have to go off of is Cosmic Fury. And you're expecting me to believe that this new Power Ranger show from Hasbro is going to be like good as a Sentai. And I said as much that they're going to cheap out on doing this show when they could have just used the Sentai footage as a baseline to write it. And I said, hey, somebody has said that Sentai footage limits the writers. And I was like, that's bullshit, because if anything, the Sentai footage made them actually have more creative to be able to like, all right, we got this episode. How are we going to write this?
So here's my thing, CJ. And again, like I can't prove racism. That's a really hard charge, but I do know xenophobia when I see it. And if Sentai was so limiting, the show would not have lasted for 30 fucking years. You see,
and I brought up RPM, and somebody, a lot of people was like, well, RPM didn't use much footage. Okay, fair. But here's the thing. Here's how good RPM was. The fact that I didn't know they only use like 15-20% Sentai footage in that whole show speaks volumes to the quality of that show.
And it also shows that you can take the Sentai footage and you can do something wholly different and original with it and remix it and make a beloved series like RPM. Or you can also do something like Time Force and you do it like a literal, like straight up 1-for-1, change a couple of things, but it's still
make some adjustments.
Put your own spin on it. Like there are so many ways you can utilize the footage. Like
Lightspeed Rescue is a good example of that. New Ranger,
been doing this shit for 30 years. Why are y'all acting brand fucking new? I don't understand.
So it's just I got a lot of shit for what I said. It is just
and
like
what you said wasn't wrong. That's what fucking that's what was fucking wild to me. I'm like, what is it about? Like, CJ, help me understand. What is it about Hasbro that has this fucking glamour where people are just so prone to suck their boot? Like, toys ain't that good, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Other than Transformers 1, we've seen what the fucking Netflix Transformers shows is about.
Dog shit, them shows are fucking terrible.
It doesn't give me any sort of hope that a Power Ranger show is going to follow suit. And that's even with respect to the 2 writers that they got for it. I think, okay, cool. The writing is going to probably be fine.
Godspeed to them. I don't think the show might come out. I don't have high.
Yeah. I mean, if it comes out,
what's this, the fifth time they've said, "Oh, we're rebooting Power Rangers," and when they say like, you already know, bro, it's going to be a watered down. My modern audience, my modern day take of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm like, you don't like, you're just giving us leftovers. It is so insane.
If you're going, my thing is this, I just know it's going to buck the formula. And look, I'm not saying you can't do anything different, but it's just there's an expectation when you think of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
They're gonna think they're fixing the wheel. They're gonna like fix what's not broken.
That's what happened in the 2017 movie that we said as much, where it's like, okay, you wrote the characters very well. They're very 3-dimensional. The actors did their job. But the fact that the Power Rangers don't show up until the 3rd act, that's not what makes Power Rangers Power Rangers. You have to splice that shit into the movie. That's why the 95 movie worked so well, because what happened? Not even 15 minutes into the movie, they're morphed and they're fucking fighting.
That's what the people are here for. And like, you can do your fucking subvertive examination. You can do all that teen drama angst. You can do all that shit. But at the end of the day, you got to remember, this is an action adventure thing. Give me my goddamn action and my goddamn adventure.
Give me the Rangers in suits. That's all we're here for. That's all we're here for. You got to mix it up. That's why Super Sentai works. That's why Ultraman and Kamen Rider works. It's like, yeah, we're gonna give you the characters, but you came here for these motherfuckers in suits kicking the shit out of rubber monsters. That's what you came here.
That's what I'm here for. That's why I paid the price of admission. If I wanted to watch some angsty teen drama, I would go watch an angsty fucking teen drama. And I'm not saying, again, as a comic book fan, I'm not saying you can't have those humanizing elements, but it's all about fucking balance. You have to remember the genre and your fucking audience. Don't just make shit that you like, oh, this thing sucks, so I'm going to come in, I'm going to fix it. Fuck you. If this thing sucked and didn't work, it wouldn't have had its longevity as it did.
That is exactly why I said, look, feel how you feel about the Boom comics. I know some people like it, some people don't, whatever. But Boom,
they're not for me.
Yeah, I know, but they know the assignment. They're like, fuck it. We're gonna give you drama of the Rangers, but we're gonna give you the fucking action beats with the Rangers in the suits. Fuck. They're
now the quality of those things. We can talk about the quality of those things.
Yeah.
They do deliver. They do deliver.
But I will look. Prime, I'll give them credit. VR Troopers is making a comeback, and I'm happy. Like, I'm only happy because VR Troopers is finally getting us a measure of recognition. Now, is it what I want it to be? Not really. Jury's gonna be out on that book that comes out for it. But I can give Boom Studios credit to just say, fuck it. They're doing. They know the assignment.
And you know what? On some level, CJ, I agree with you. Like, what do I always say? Like, I would rather you miss aiming for the moon than to just shoot yourself at the foot by keeping low expectations. So at least I'm glad they're taking swings because no one else is. And the thing that just makes, again,
Hasbro ain't gonna take them fucking swings. Hell no, they're not.
Shit, they don't even want to make toys, CJ. Let's be fucking for real.
They put out, like you said, they did Cosmic Fury and they even put toys for the new suits. It's like, how do you fuck up that layup? Even if I'm not a fan of the suits, I'm pretty sure the toy line would have been pretty good for that.
Would have been fine. Show. Yeah, because as you said, we designed these suits to make the toys easier, and we just did not make. That is so bad. Like, if I could force choke motherfuckers through the phone, like, it's so fucking infuriating. And what makes me so fucking angry, CJ, is there are people right now online who are like, this is a win. And I'm like, how the fuck is what's this? 1, 2, 3. The fifth rehash of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Not a new show, because you know what they're gonna do, CJ. They're just gonna probably take a bunch of old episodes and do like modern twists. Modern takes is gonna be their ultimate Marvel version of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which snore.
End of the season, they get their powers, and
right. It's gonna be like it's gonna be just fucking retread of some shit we've already seen, and there are people like, oh, this is a win. When before this, what we were getting a new show on air every year. We introduce new concepts, new characters, new team ups, expanding the lore, expanding the world. And it just feels like after Hash, where everything's just constricting because they made the universe smaller, and then they are just orbiting around Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And it's so fucking infuriating as a longtime fan to watch and see this happen, because every time I see an announcement, I just go, what happened to the game I love? Like, what are we doing here?
Somebody pointed out a good thing. Pointed out something in that it's kind of like, oh shit, that makes sense. So we look at Super Sentai, right? Much like how again, MMPR, for whatever reason, when people think of Power Rangers, they think of that, right? Zyuranger over in Japan doesn't get that much of play to the level that MMPR over here does. Like, it gets shown as Super Sentai, don't get it twisted, but like it ain't like ad nauseum over there. And it's only recently with in the new show that we saw God, I'm like blanking out on the name now.
Gojuju?
Yeah, Gojuju. No, for the Zyuranger mech.
Daijujin.
Daijujin came in as broken Daijujin with the cloak and shit. Everybody all of a sudden renewed interest in NPR because of that, and we've seen all the videos and stuff. But like, it's cool, but then they move on afterwards to the next thing. They're not like, oh, we need to do a revive interest in Zyuranger. It's like, no, that's what it is. So it's just weird to me that Hasbro isn't making use of their license in a way to go beyond just MMPR. It's very baffling on that end, to me at least. I mean, Godspeed. That's the only thing I can say. Because
like I said, as always, don't ever let us yuck your yum. If you are the giantest, mostest biggest Hasbro stan, first of all, why are you listening to this show? How did you find us? Who are you? Are you a spy? So if that's you, don't let us yuck your yum, bro. You wave that flag, you be happy. It's not for us. Not for me. I'm not gonna speak for CJ.
My thing is this though. How okay? We're talking cash shit about it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how anybody can be excited until this shit actually no. But here's the thing: until this shit goes into pre-production, there's zero reason to even be excited about this.
Until I see a trailer, that shit doesn't exist. That shit
it needs to be in production. No, I'm talking like there's casting announcements.
I need to see footage of the cast on a set somewhere. I need to see a fucking teaser go. It's Morphin. I need to see actual frames of something. Until then, this shit is shovelware. It's you laundering somebody's money. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. So, like I said, Godspeed to everybody. That's I mean, it's news, but at this point, I think I have been in the position of just like everybody else, where it's like, you know what? I'm focusing on Kamen Rider and Ultraman and Super Sentai. I'm fine. Out of space, out of mind.
And back to my thing. When they aired that fucking AI upscale, then 30-year show, don't watch it. Don't engage with it. If you just have to watch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers again and you don't have the DVDs and Blu-rays and they take it off of Netflix or they take it off of YouTube, go Kai change. There are avenues to still watch it. Don't watch that version though. Please don't watch that version.
I mean,
and if you have to talk about Power Rangers and that shit comes out, start a podcast, talk about the old episodes, talk about the comic book that you love, review the toys online. Like, you can keep the engagement live. Just don't reward their poor fucking behavior because they are giving you not even scrap, nigga. This is less than
They don't.
scrap.
They look. They
Less
don't
than
look. I talked to a guy. I was at AwesomeCon this past weekend. I talked to a guy who is making. He basically. You'll definitely like this, Rob. So, you know how back in 80s and 90s when toys came out, you get like the base, like GI Joe base and that kind of
I had
stuff,
the
right?
Command bunker when I was growing up. Hell yeah.
So you notice nowadays you don't get that with toys now. You just get the toy line and that's it. They don't have the base,
There's
castle, none of that.
a reason for that. Mhm.
Yeah. So this guy at AwesomeCon, his whole business is surrounding actually making like action bases for figures to kind of basically to fill a void in the market, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about that, and he definitely expressed his feelings on Hasbro that echoes ours. Like, yeah, Hasbro is really kind of they really just are just very focused on one or two toy lines, and everything else is secondary.
And as Hasbro said, like they just see us as a barrier between them and our wallets.
Yeah, and it's just and then again, it's their older market too that they're so hyper focused on. It's like you do realize kids play with your stuff, right? Like
what I say, like isn't it insane that they've priced children out of toys? Isn't that crazy as fuck?
That's why Playmates is winning, because
that Godzilla line flying off the shelf, bro.
Hey, it just is what it is. But anyways, happier news. I am presenting something here with new toys from P Bandai, because why not? Can you see it?
It's coming up now.
All right, cool.
Hell
So here's what we got. We got Kamen Rider Bitter Grav, which looks pretty good. Gotta admit.
Yeah, I'll get it. Why not?
Which, by the way, I'm actually getting that Digimon Digivice, the Davis one.
Oh, we're dope. Yeah, I got the Pyaldramon one.
Oh, of course.
Pyaldramon, because his weapon on his arms are piles. Pyaldramon.
Yes. We also got Kamen Rider Mass Rider Stronger. I don't know why that's not saying Kamen Rider Stronger. Mass Rider Stronger.
Kamen Rider Stronger.
Yeah, it's weird, but this is, you know what, Prime? I'm gonna say that you're the inspiration for this. I remember seeing you post on IG a while back your Kamen Rider display. I think it's figure art Kamen Rider display you got.
Yeah, I put it on Twitter too.
Yeah, I may have to just go get the Showa Era figure arts and do a collection.
Yeah, I got him.
The Stronger looks pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, Stronger's one of my favorite designs, man. He's dope as fuck.
It's the most Rob Liefeld chest.
I am missing two though, and it bothers the fuck out of me. I don't have Jay and I don't have Shin.
Did they ever come out with those?
They did.
Okay. How long ago?
They were exclusive, so I was like, man, it's been a minute.
Oh shit. So the Fudo PI animated bike hard boiler,
which looks the same like the regular hard boiler.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's because it's the animated version. I'm assuming.
You couldn't even give me a cartoon paint job over that, Bandai. You couldn't give like cartoon little highlights, bro.
What did we say? That's the gift of the curse of premium Bandai. It's good stuff, and then other times it's like, so you got lazy, didn't you, Bandai?
You just like fuck.
Not every company is immune from our critique, because trust me, we can talk cash shit about Bandai, but it's like they do so much good stuff. You're like, God damn it! Like, what are we doing here?
Like, I think we are very fair access. Like I think we've equally roasted them both.
Oh yeah, we come on, we have roasted them big time, like all the time. Like P Bandai is like love. It's the love hate relationship.
The fucking devil. But I'd rather have P Bandai than Hash Lab.
Hey, P Bandai is consistent.
Listen.
So didn't they put this out before?
No, that's a renewal. That's a sale.
Oh, okay.
That's the bone carving method. The update.
Oh, okay. Oh, not bad.
Yeah, I got the Baron and the Gaim.
Okay.
And I can't wait for Zangetsu to come out, because I'm definitely getting his melanin ass.
We got Gav kicking form, which that kind of caught my eye, honestly, because of the design of it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite forms.
I feel You know what? If my fiance wasn't so super serious, I would totally try to get somebody to commission this and not go down the aisle.
Bro.
She would kick
Who-
my ass for that
I'm gonna
shit.
say who gonna stop you? Well, just do it. Don't let her know. Just do it.
I'm not trying to start off the marriage on a bad note. But maybe for our anniversary down the road.
But I mean, would you be clean though?
Yes. Does fit the color for the wedding white. So hey.
Hey.
There you go. And you got Kamen Rider VRAM put in custom, which all right. Cool.
Yeah. Did you see have you gotten that part in Gav when he shows up?
No, not yet. Not yet. I gotta admit, you know what?
Oh, that man got the sauce, bro.
I gotta admit, Kamen Rider, this Toku costumes, it's funny. You might be in the same boat as me, where it's like you ever get a point where you look at a costume and you be kind of raise the eyebrow, like, I don't know. And then like you watch the episode of the show, and then you're like, okay, maybe I was tripping on having reservations on the suit.
Bro, all the time. That's half of the fun. Like, how are they gonna make this?
I be feeling bad because
cool?
it's like I want to talk cash shit about it, but it's like, let me just wait to the episode. Let me chill. Gav was one of them. It was like, I don't know.
Like I said the same thing when I first saw the design. I was like, what the fuck is up? Like, what
actually, XA was the first one for
perfectionary is this shit?
I ain't gonna lie, XA was the first time that like I was like questioning, like, I don't know, man. And then when I saw it in action, I was like, all right, man. You know what? I was tripping.
I don't know, man. I
think we talked about that a while back when this came out.
Yeah, I was on board with XA from Frame 1, bro. I can't co-sign that one. I was like, that man's a fucking 1990s suit design. I'm all in. Extreme, baby. Extreme.
Dude, it does stream. Dude, XA, I need to rewatch XA because that was the extreme season.
No, literally, that's what it starts. Extreme A. That's literally, we mean that.
Also, by the way, I should be mad at the $500 Typhoon.
I ain't though. I ain't. What I am mad at is that I didn't get that shit when it was on sale at GameStop for $250 because I was broke.
I don't know, Prime. GameStop is going out of business. You might luck out. And find a GameStop that has.
I might have to keep searching, man, or keep checking that refreshing their website.
Hey, bro, that's how I got that Bandai Green Ranger helmet. Because the GameStop down for me was going out of business, and I copped that shit for like $50.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was a deep discount because when GameStop went out of business and stuff, like a lot of that stuff over time they deep discounted, and luckily, boom, it was sitting right there, and I copped it. And then I copped the Iron Man helmet for $70. So, yeah, both of those are sitting in the closet. I was like, yeah, I think I'm just keep these and just sit on it for a while.
Yeah, I want to hit the ones of my area real soon.
Yeah, you might want to see if any of them got the Typhoon belt, and seeing what that is and stuff.
Also, the fact that it comes with the Kamen Rider Club little badge thing, that is amazing.
It's like they want you to sit there and get your $500 worth out of this.
And you can change the stripes on the side to go, is this Ichigo or is this Nigo? Whatever I feel like today.
God, man. See, maybe.
I don't know, man.
See, I feel if I get the Typhoon belt, then I have to actually get the suit, buy a suit to cosplay as Kamen Rider.
My boy Josh did that shit.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I was going to find some pictures later.
That's how he did it. He's like, I guess I got to dress up as Kamen Rider now.
Pretty much. He was like, well, I got the belt. Might as well slap some shit together real quick. Hold on. You got a fucking tracksuit. I gotta show. I'll show you the pictures.
Bro. Hey, you know what? I respect it. I respect that very much, man. Like, but nah, PP Bandai, man. They just, man.
Now, what annoys the fuck out of me is that we are getting a lot of access to shit from Kamen Rider and Ultraman.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Dark Warrior. Bro. Yeah, Dark Warrior.
I pre-ordered that Galactron there, and I ain't got no space for that bitch.
Is this what we call first world problems, sir?
First world problems. Like, I was like, I can't.
How big is Galactron? Is it actually really big?
Scale. See if they have a picture with one of the Ultramen.
Oh, probably this one.
Oh, Oh, he's a chunky boy. Fuck.
Oof.
Ooh,
Oh
fuck.
man, got some
'Cause
height to him too.
I just got King of Mons too, and that ate up the last bit of shelf space I had for my
Oh
Ultimate shit.
man,
Did you see the pictures I posted? That big
yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah, I saw that, and I was like, maybe he might have some space, maybe.
Man, hell no! I gotta figure out some shit.
Dude, like there's like so many people that I see online because again, you watch so many toy reviews and your algorithm on YouTube all of a sudden points out people doing walkthroughs of their toy room and stuff. Man, y'all are dedicated.
Yeah, we are. we are.
I can't talk because I got my Lightning Collection Power Ranger stuff in boxes, so I'm just waiting until I get another shelf and I can actually add them to our case of stuff for them. So I can't talk, but then again, the Gundam and the figure arts do add up. The figure rise stuff that I built does add up. So yeah, I can definitely see how y'all do it. Especially the ones that got the Godzilla.
Oh
figures.
man, some Godzilla collectors, man. That's a dedicated group.
They
there,
are
bro.
next level. That is some next level shit. Like
None
that-
but respect. Salutes.
Yeah, very, very much so. But I will say though, if there is any Kamen Rider one, I definitely want to get this one. For sure.
Oh yeah. You gotta have a Zombie, man.
Yeah, so I'll probably get that. Because why not?
Because it's Zombie. He's cool as fuck.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much. Oh no, there we go. We already saw. I think what was.
Now notice how they don't have Super Sentai shit, and I wonder is that Hash Bro fucking up things for us?
Hold up. Let's see if something comes up. Yeah, unless Tokulectables.
But that's not P Bandai though. See what I'm saying?
That is true. That is true. I would figure they would have picked up the slack on it, but they're not. So, oh, by the way, Memorial Shuttle Phone. That's the thing.
You know, I don't know. I think about that. Like I don't know.
It's not a must-have. It's not like the Hurricane one, which I still need to get.
Yeah, it'll be like if I got it, that'd be cool. But I'm not like, oh man, I gotta have one. I'm like, I mean, I like it. You know what I mean?
I like Shinkinger, but it was just I wasn't huge on the Morphin like that. Like I gotta get it.
Like I said, it's like, it's cool. It's cool.
So yeah, it is. Yeah. So, but yeah. At any rate, I guess we can start talking about Kamen Rider Black RX. So here's the thing. We did an episode about Mass Rider, but that show is going to come up when we talk about this. And I think at the top of this, I think rewatching Black RX, because this will be my third time watching Black RX. So I had to kind of like refresh my memory on it. I'm definitely questioning Saban on why he couldn't give Mass Rider like a proper finale. Because just watching Black RX, it's like, you could have made this work to end that series.
He could have killed the parents there too.
I don't know about killing the parents, but it would have been something where they got injured. I don't think he would have killed the parents, but I can also see where he got the inspiration for Zet, old boy being with a family because of this show. I guess minus they don't have Furbus in this show, but yeah, but you can get the inspiration of why it's like, oh, that's why he's with the family because makes perfect sense.
I'm trying to remember, dude. Because back in the day, like I was like deep into like the behind the scenes shit. Because I like when I was a kid, I was like I had to know how the sausage was made because I was just that invested.
Yeah.
And I know that one of the reasons why Mass Rider and VR Troopers and Beetleborgs exist in the first place is that they knew that somebody was going to copy them, so why not copy themselves?
And Superhuman Samurai.
Well, yeah, I'm specifically talking about the ones made by Saban.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Superhuman Samurai and Saban. My bad.
Because they knew that someone was going to copy them, so they might as well cut into their own pie and get paid twice,
or three times,
or for we make a lot of jokes about Saban and money. They're not jokes.
He likes money. Like, look, the fact that Mass Rider had a toy line, and bear in mind, folks. So, Mass Rider was basically Saban was trying to do Black RX, but he had to do a package deal with it. So basically, he got Black RX, Shin, J, and Zo. Yeah, Zo, right?
No, just Zo and J.
Yeah, Zo and J.
And
so
it wasn't
he
a
had
package deal. It wasn't a package. Again, because I remember reading a lot of these stories back in the day. I don't think it was a package deal. I think it was like, again, they wanted to have a Kamen Rider because Kamen Rider is you know, very popular. You know, a little niche show, but you know, anyway,
popular enough.
Very popular show. A lot of people like it, and so that was their next target after Super Sentai. But the problem that they ran into, and if I'm trying to remember the interviews and shit right, the issue they ran into was that all the shows were old as fuck, and like Black was the most recent show, and that came out in 88, 89.
No, 89. It was 89 going into 1990.
Okay, 90. Yeah. Okay. Appreciate that. And so that was the most recent show. And to be honest, it also had the most recent aesthetics that people would be fine with, because I think Black RX looks more closely like a Super Sentai suit or a Metal Hero suit, and I'll talk about that in a second.
That's on top of Mask Rider popping up in Power Rangers, so that really kind of like.
Well, no, I just mean like, again, the footage, like it was the newest show, and I think they probably felt that Black RX looked the most like what they think these type of heroes should look like in terms of what the costume is. Because like there was no way in hell they were gonna go back and grab Sky Rider. Like they were not.
I think when you think about it though, like when we look at, because basically Black RX in an interesting way, the things that Black RX does sets the tone for how Kamen Rider was going to be kind of going once it comes back in 2000 with Kuuga.
It's a lot of the groundwork.
It set a lot of the groundwork, but now going back to what you were saying though, like they had Zo and J, and they had Kamen Rider Black RX, and it was like they had to find a way to, number one, get the footage from those things that works for the show. And those first couple episodes, you could definitely see a lot of Zo and J that they spliced in with Black RX. And I even remember when Mask Rider came out, I could tell that there was a bit of jank with how they cut.
So I know we just praised how they used to be really good at this, but like I said, pre-turbo, they weren't that good at it. And this is a huge example of how you do it badly. A lot of really weird, awkward shots. Like I still remember that shot where he fought the ending monster, the spider from Zo, and like it was clear those two motherfuckers were in two different rooms. And when they were cut to like the rider being hit, it was like, that's not even the same color scheme, bro. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's just the blending wasn't exactly there. So I say all that to say, Black RX, it definitely made me question, like, because again, I like Mask Rider, but it was just like Black RX really made me question, what did I see in Mask Rider? And maybe it was because I saw the potential of what Mask Rider could be.
I was just going to say, I think what you saw was the unmitigated aura of Kamen Rider Black RX.
That's really what it was, because it was just so many. And I think Trey had he answered one of the questions I said on I put up on IG. Basically, Trey said it pretty much echoed me, where it was like watching Mask Rider made me want to actually go back and watch get access to Black RX and even Black at that time. And I did reverse. When I got to my junior year in high school, I had found a website that had all the Black RX episodes, and you can watch it on Real Player.
Oh my god.
That's how fucking old I am. All right.
We are old as fuck, bro.
Real Player, people. Real Player.
Ruining your internet experience since 1994.
So I saw Black RX, and then later on, when I was in the Air Force, my first year, so this is like 2004, I found a zip file that had all of Kamen Rider Black.
Was it by the? I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
I think it was fan subs. I think it was fan subs.
Yeah, was it Kingstone fan subs?
Shit, honestly, I don't remember. I just remember seeing a bunch of names at the startup of every episode, and it would say fan sub, and I was like, all right, cool. Like,
did it also have the eye catch where it says if you pay for this, you were ripped off?
Yes.
That's them. That's them.
Okay. So, like Black RX, not realizing that it was the same characters and stuff, I was like, so Black. Oh, that makes sense. But the funny thing is, you can watch Black RX and not having watching Kamen Rider Black and still be off to the races.
Isn't that wild for a direct sequel?
Yeah, because you would think, oh shit, I gotta watch Kamen. Nah, they set the tone in the first episode. Hey,
right.
What happened? Here's where he is now. Boom.
Only thing you have to know is like, oh, he was a superhero beforehand because he does transform, but gets his ass whooped.
He tries to transform.
Tries to transform. Gets his ass whooped.
Tries to. Yeah. So if you didn't know about Kotaro's adventures in Kamen Rider Black, Black RX kind of gets you up to speed.
It takes place 6 months after?
Yeah, 6 months. It's literally like this dude didn't even have enough time to like breathe after all the sacrifices in Kamen Rider Black.
Which by the way, Kotaro, you're not gonna check on Kasumi or Kyoko? You gonna just let them think you dead, my guy? The fuck?
Sir. His BFF Bio Rider, Robo Rider, I should say. My bad. I almost said Bio Rider. Robo Rider. Yeah, Shadow Moon. Shadow Moon basically was like, "Hey, bro, so you just back with a new suit and didn't tell me?"
Which, by the way, can you imagine? So I hate this nigga, so my hatred resurrects me. You know what? Go. That's a vibe. I fucks with that.
It's fair.
That's fair. Fair statement, I think.
So Kotaru, first episode, he's helicopter pilot, and they end up coming upon Crisis Empire. I think it's like these like pillars that kind of like make the helicopter like land and stuff, and they had to dive out the fucking helicopter into the water and shit.
Oh yeah, dude was mad about that shit.
Oh yeah. So basically, the Crisis Empire is invading, and they don't give a shit about Kotaru and him being Kamen Rider Black, because if anything, they're like, this is Kamen Rider Black. This is the guy that, okay, I guess.
Yeah, they came down and immediately said, "Pick up sticks, bitch, and let's run that fade."
Well, first, he got hit with the 3 skull guys on Ducatis.
Which I joke about this.
Grim Reapers and Ducatis.
Right. And I joke about this a lot on Twitter, but like Black RX is my favorite Metal Hero show.
I ain't gonna lie. If you were to replace Black RX with like a space sheriff,
right?
Yeah, just any space sheriff, Gavin, Shader, whatever, the show will still function the same.
This is the same exact fucking show, bro. Like all them sequences.
I just said that. I had to really think about that. I was like, well, what about Spillbay? Yeah, same show.
Just Beyond, same show. Bro. Tell me that fucking sequence at that fair when they put his ass in that nightmare zone. That was
I was Meltalder. That was automatic in my head immediately.
Bro, I was like, if that ain't fucking Maku space, you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit.
The same time, okay. Again, the imagination, even as me as a 40-year-old adult, hits me of seeing that fucking ship, the Crisis Empire ship, with the little CG and stuff. It still kind of works in a way.
It does, because it like you said, the imagination at work, and again, I think it remembers the core that this shit is fun. Like,
yeah, like, is it ridiculous to see Kotaru fighting 3 guys in Skull Mask and the Grim Reaper sights? Sure, but you roll with it, because why not?
Don't question it. Just have fucking fun. It's sci-fi. It's enjoyable. It's a blast. Like, it knows what it is, and it doesn't talk down to you by what it is.
So we meet the Crisis Empire group game. We got General Jark, who, I gotta be honest with you, that suit design, even to this day, is still dope as shit to me.
Oh, King Dragon, chef's kiss.
Also, by the way, if there is one thing about Mask Rider you can give credit to, who they got for the American guy to play Count Dragon. They managed to actually blend that shit in with Black RX. Jark.
Yeah, pretty good. Him and
Real good.
Him and homegirl.
Yeah. Was it Mirror Baron?
Yeah, what's her name in Masked Rider? Was it Nefaria or am I thinking about somebody else?
I don't know. I think shit. I forgot her name, but yeah, they blended that.
Dope. Yeah, they did pretty good.
They blended that very well. General Jark just has a dope design because I think he was in the recent, was it Superhero Tyson?
Mm-hmm. And he was also in was it Z? Because they did a cutaway with him and Dodger Vote stand together.
Yeah, Z.
He was used more recently than that, wasn't it? Was he in Heisei Rider versus Showa Rider? Because then he have a showdown with Black.
Superhero Tyson GP. That was his last one.
Yes, that's right. There we go. Because then he fight Black and Black RX.
Yeah.
Or am I tripping?
Yeah, GP was when he fought Black RX, Black and Black RX. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad, y'all. It's not like we don't watch hours of this shit.
Oh, actually, no. Kamen Rider Tyson is when he fought both of them.
Yeah, Heisei versus Showa.
Yeah. So they did the double rider kick, which I had to get used to Black's double rider kick like that. I had to kind of get used to it again when he's the Black RX and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's right. He actually did do a double kick, which I feel weird. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I don't, because Kotaru stands 10 toes down.
Dude, is that how Captain America does that double kick that just
in Marvel's Capcom? Yes.
No, I'm talking about in the MCU movies. I think was it Civil War when he fucking yeet kicked that fucking soldier, just double kicked him.
Which, by the way, Steve, you were very discriminatory about who was dying and who was walking alive from that shit, bro. Like them two dudes you threw overboard. There's nobody to rescue. Them niggas just gone, Steve.
I ain't gonna lie, that's why I loved Winter Soldier. When I saw that in theaters, I saw him beating the shit out of them dudes on the boat. I was like, somebody died. I don't know if they got in the hospital, but they did.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Only 62 people died in the Battle of New York. Bullshit.
Well, there's a lot more deaths than that. I get it, man. It's still, but nah, people died.
Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
But nah, yeah, the Crisis Empire, you got General Jark, you have Mary Baron, you have Bolsgun, who, for my money, great design. It's kind of funny. You can see the guy behind the mask underneath the helmet, but even if you ignore that, you can still, the whole design of him is actually pretty dope. Little mini head on top of a guy. Gate Zone, who is a cyborg.
A motorcycle riding cyborg.
Yes. With cargo pants stuck into his boots,
bro,
and a one-shot pistol that will fuck you up,
bro. You gonna leave Robot Beelzemon alone, bro?
What was it about the 80s and 90s where it's like if you put a gun on a bike, it just looks dope? It's ridiculous, but it looks dope.
I don't know, man. Is that the Hokkaido influence? I don't know.
It could be. It could be the Hokkaido. You're right.
Give a cyborg a motorcycle and a shotgun. I don't know, dog. Something about this primal.
Also, I like the idea that he can actually like take his head off and his body can actually function. He can kind of control it and stuff. That was actually pretty dope to see.
Straight Metal Hero, bro. Some shows a Metal Hero show, bro.
Kamikaze body. We got Eddie Gordo, Fang Captain Ghidorah. Which by the way, I felt so bad for him when they teamed up on his ass near the end of the show.
You know, to be honest, like I feel bad for all them motherfuckers.
I mean, they were all turning on each other because Black RX was putting boost asses to them.
No lie. Like they're like one of my favorite villain factions in Kamen Rider because of how like three-dimensional they are. Like, like they know what they like. They know what they're there for. Because I think they also reveal like they're not even really like part of the elites. That like they are. The reason they're part of their crew is because like the Empire views them as expendable. And
that is definitely the word of the show, expendable.
Listen, and I like the fact that Jark despite all his bluster, like he seemed to actually really care about his subordinates. Like he actually gave a shit about them.
Oh, dude, like here's the thing. If there was any guy that played the fuck you people, that was it Das Mater?
Oh yeah, the
company
Emperor
man.
guys. Yeah,
the company man.
The dude coming to do their quarterly review.
Hey, you know what's perfect? He comes literally in the final 10 episodes of the show, like 12 episodes of the show.
Where
you're like
28, 29?
No, he came at like 38. I think it was like 30.
Really?
Yeah. So can you remember at that point, that's when he was like, all right, guys, you guys been fucking failing. So we gotta clean some shit up. No, you're right. It was 28. It was 28, my bad.
Yeah, he can't do that PPE. He was like, hey, gotta put y'all on a performance improvement plan real quick.
The fucking adjudicator from fucking John Wick 2.
But yeah, I like that they're a very three-dimensional group, like, and like you said, like they kept backstabbing each other. And what I liked about them is that they are self-aware. Like they realized, hey, if we weren't all so power hungry, we actually like work together, we would have beat Black RX a long time ago. But whenever the situation came up, like they couldn't help their self-serving nature. They would still backstab each other.
Dude, fucking Boskin at one point, the fucking monster is beating the shit out of the fucking 10 Kamen Riders and Black RX and shit. And his pride gets in the way where it's like you could have had the I win button, but you said, fuck it, I want to do this by myself. And I'm like, there it is right there. It's like you had a monster that was killing everyone, and you just said, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it. And it was funny because even Das Mater brought it up like, hey, he told me he didn't need this help, need the monster's help. So what you want me to do? So yeah, egos are definitely at the heart of it. But like you said, that's what makes this whole group interesting in and of itself. And I think even like you said with Jark, yeah, he definitely cares about his generals. He's gonna punish them, but yeah, they all cared about each other. And when it came down to like the last 10 episodes where essentially it was kind of every man for himself, it was self-preservation because the Emperor was not pleased with the failures. And I think what was it, that was like the little thing that had blood dropping, that like if it fills up then it destroys everything. Yeah. So basically it was like that's why Ghidorah ends up being sacrificed, because it's like, hey, we ain't trying to die, so you gotta go.
And I felt so bad because he was like, "Oh, thank you for taking the
chance." We were boys.
He was like, "Was it when he was talking to Jark? Was that before? We was talking about like his little origin story about how he was like abandoned and like he wasn't seen as a he's not even part of the actual empire, but like this is his way to get membership, get like citizenship and shit." And I was like, "Oh, little poor buck dude. Oh."
They somehow managed to make you actually sympathetic to like them turning against each other in a way.
And that's again, you respect your audience. Don't talk down to your audience and like just present your characters and the environment and make them act believably. Like,
I mean, I don't mind one-dimensional villains, but this is like when they jumped them, I was like, that's your boy. Like, what happened?
Man, it's cold-blooded, cold world.
I mean, it's a cold world, but so basically this show is kind of done in like they have like little mini arcs and stuff that's more so like used as a way to introduce certain elements and stuff. So I would say the first maybe 4 or 5 episodes is kind of reintroducing Black RX and Kotaro kind of coming into his own, because part of what happened when they destroyed the Crisis Empire destroyed his Kingstone and just threw him out into space and stuff, and he ends up absorbing the sun, turned to Black RX. His bike, which kamikazed into Shadow Moon and Black and destroyed itself, got revived in the process.
I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I had a tear in my eye.
I mean, yeah, it's a nice moment. I totally forgot the fact that bike was still, because like you said, this is 6 months later, so the bike parts are still
right. You didn't go get your boy. You didn't like.
Did try to rebuild him?
You didn't try to rebuild him. That's cold as hell. Again, he ain't check on Kasumi. So what? Why would he? Why would he?
So the bike gets revived.
Which also, by the way, because people like to dunk on Masked Rider. I don't know if you remember how hard motherfuckers dunked on Masked Rider, and it was like, oh, they made it kiddified. They made the bike and the motorcycle talk, and then when you watch Black RX, it's like the bike and the motorcycle talking Black RX. You niggas ain't watching these shows, bro.
You know what? Even for me though, but even for me, when I watched Masked Rider and the bike was talking, I was like, I'm down for this. Why not?
Yeah, but like, I saw a lot of people like talking down on that, going, they made it kiddified. They did all this shit. Like, why is the motorcycle and why is the bike talking?
That's like, Toku. That I mean, look
again.
Feel what you feel about Saban. Saban was like, fuck it, we're going for it. Let's give him a talking bike and car. Go.
I'm still mad that they took the talking dinosaurs out of Abba Ranger from Dino Thunder, because those dinosaurs were my favorite characters in the fucking show.
Well, see, Disney didn't see the vision, so they said, "Fuck it, let's do something different."
Right, and damn you, Hasbro, for taking away Terramigo, you sons of bitches.
Hey,
about this shit, bro.
Other side of it, though, I will always give Disney credit. Y'all were like, "Hey, we see your Doggy Kruger, and we raise you a better Doggy Kruger, or maybe equal to it. I don't know."
I'm gonna say, who's in better shape right now? 20 years later.
I will say this though. Deca Doggy is better because he wore shades and Doggy Kruger didn't wear shades. So
I mean, also Doggy gets bitches.
I mean,
and also Doggy had a shirtless scene, so I just mean automatically that's better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's with respect to the fact that I like the Doggy Kruger suit from.
And I look, I like both of them. I joke a lot, but like Doggy in both shows are my favorite character in that show.
Hey, shout out to John Tui, voicing Doggy Kruger,
the GOAT, the Solaris Knight. What is up, dog?
That dude double dipped. It's like, boy, you were two Rangers.
I ain't mad at it. Two goats at that, not just you random motherfuckers. You were two goats. Real nigga.
It's perfect. Hasbro would never.
Could never. Would never. And they're not. That's the thing.
They won't. But speaking of which, so basically gets the bike, and then later on, after I think they went through the demon world, he got designs for the car, which talks, which is still dope as hell and great. And then I think there was the arc afterwards where they were kidnapping young girls, essentially.
Yeah, was that when they went to Demon World and they picked up his adopted sister, was trying to make her a princess?
Yeah, the guy adopted sister to make her a princess, and he ends up coming upon the gold form, which is
Prince of Rage, Robo Rider?
Prince of Sorrow, because it has like red tears going down his eyes, which this is where Kamen Rider Black RX kind of starts what you get with Kuuga onwards, where Kamen Riders have different forms.
Form change. Unless you want to count Stronger Charged Up as a final form.
Maybe. I mean, it gets recognized. So, I mean,
I have to say, is that a final form or is that a form change? I personally would count Stronger Charged Up as like a final form. Like that's his ultimate, or that's his blaster, or his shining, or his Wizard Infinity. Like I would count that as just a final form. Form changes started with Black RX.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I didn't ask you this in the Kamen Rider Black episode that we did. Do you prefer the modern Kamen Rider Black suit or the OG Kamen Rider Black suit?
Oh, so do I prefer the coconut meat or do I prefer the shiny? The shiny. I'm gonna probably just say the modern one, just because it's probably better for the stunt person.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
that's just me though.
All right, it's like I like the OG because I've seen like there's been some cosplayers at conventions recently that have been doing OG Kamen Rider Black, and I'm like, I like the old one, but
did you see that one dude who had the dry ice, who did the steam effects?
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, That's actually
committed to the bit. I respect it.
I do. But yeah, with Black RX though, there is a modern version of the Black RX suit.
I don't like that version, bro.
You don't like the modern one?
I don't like the modern one, man. Is
it too clean to you?
Yeah, it's too neat. Yeah, it's too clean. I don't like it.
Like it's a complete. So you know what it is? The modern one has. Oh, let me show people this.
Put it side by side. They were talking crazy.
Yeah. Because people
they're like, "What do you mean modern suit? What are you talking about?
What you talking about?
Fucking nerd."
All right, so there we go. All right, so that's the modern one. Okay, yeah, it is definitely clean. It's definitely
it's too neat, bro.
And then you got this one, which is the OG one. Which, there's a definite weathering to it on that one.
Right. It goes back to like it looks like. All right, it's gonna sound kind of nasty, but like it looks like skin, because if you remember, the original conceit behind Black was that it was a monster transformed.
Yeah, transformed into that.
Yeah. So like what we think of as a costume, we should actually think of that's his skin. Like that's who he is. Like that's what he's supposed to look like.
Gets stabbed. It's him personally. Yeah, so it makes sense.
Again, that's just me though. That's just me.
No, you're right. So Robo Rider, which is this one, basically strength, but no speed. So basically, he's the RoboCop, so to speak. RoboCop and stuff, complete with a gun that just shoots the shit out of it and stuff. And then I think the last part of the 4-part arc, you got Bio Rider.
That's the Prince of Sorrow. That's Prince of Rage.
Prince of Rage. Speed, but he doesn't have strength and stuff. And the interesting aspect of it is that both of these, the bike also gets changed to a different one, which I think is pretty dope.
Yeah.
But I gotta admit, when I saw these two suits, when it popped up in Mask Rider, I was like, we're selling toys. Good. I need Mask Rider Super Gold now.
The hype and aura moments, like, oh yeah, I remember that shit. The 2-parter.
Oh yeah, man. That was great.
And you gotta love the Saban naming conventions. This is Super Gold, and this is Super Blue.
Yeah,
Okay.
blue. You get the blue crystal, and then you get the gold crystal. Because why not?
Because sure, why not? Why not? As you said, sure, why the hell not?
Hey, look, I marked for the suits in Mask Rider, and I marked for the suits when I saw it in Black RX, and I quite like both suits actually.
Yeah, the Bio Rider was that part of the Joe the Wind, Joe the Mist arc?
Yeah. No. Yeah, Bio Rider came 2 episodes after Robo Rider.
Okay.
So
yeah,
because it was the 4-parter, so this is like part 4. Boom, we got this one.
Right. Which, man, I wish I had a nigga's ride or die as Joe the Mist. we all need homies like Joe the Mist, man. He was with the shit.
My man, look. I will say this: Kotaru's cast is with the shits, and they definitely will go in there and be putting boots to asses for sure.
Which, by the way, like that's one thing I really like about especially like a lot of older Kamen Riders, where they had like a really strong supporting cast that didn't really need to transform to still contribute and help the plot out. Like that little boy and that little girl, like they did so fucking much in that show to drive the plot.
I mean, they really help. And like you said, Joe being like, bro, seeing Joe fight a monster for Kotaru just to hold it off is just dope as shit to see, man.
Right. And like, I'm just thinking about people complaining about in modern shows, like, oh, they're upset that so-and-so didn't transform or so-and-so didn't get to be a rider.
Why is there a kid with a bow in this show? I'm like, because in Toku, kids with bows actually help the hero out and can probably kill a monster or two.
Right, that's what happens. And I'm just hearing these motherfuckers complain. I'm just thinking, like, man, y'all would not survive the Tachibana Racing Club. Y'all would not. Y'all would not. Your little brains would explode, which again proves my point that these niggas are not watching these shows. They are not
They
not watching these shows, bro.
They would hate this supporting cast. Like, why is this guy fighting monsters, man? I guess there's no Kamen Rider. I'm like, because he's
Why the
just
fuck can't
badass.
Why the fuck can't that fencing girl get a rider belt? This is not fair, bro.
Why is the kid shooting a monster? Hey, you ain't lying. The kid when that kid picked up Robo Rider's gun and just shot at the monster for killing their parents and stuff, I was like, respect that kid. I respect.
Also, by the way, to wait till like episode was at 46, 47
Yeah, 46
to kill the parents. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
we were at the finish line and you
we were
couldn't just
right there. We were right. It just seems so mean spirited. Like, it just seems so unnecessary. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, dude, I forgot the parents got killed because I was like, okay, I remember the monster threw them off of them because they were going for the kid. All right, cool. And then when they grabbed the leg, I was like, oh, you guys are gonna die.
bro, that's all I remember because I'm like, it felt so tonally. It felt like something that would have happened in Kamen Rider Black, not in Black RX. Like, it just felt. I'm serious.
Black RX was so family friendly.
No, because like it just Black RX had like just a different vibe to it than Black.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt so unnecessary.
Yeah, but I do like that. And like I said, so after that initial arc, Shadow Moon pops up at the end of the episode, and he has like kind of like a 4-episode arc, which is
Not
weird.
Really, because he just disappears for half of that shit.
Well, like, because you remember it was the first 2 episodes. I want to say it was like 21, 22, and then he fucked off somewhere, and then episode 27 he pops back in. I'm like, where the fuck were you at for like the past 5 episodes? Like,
I don't know, man. It feels like that was corporate mandated. Like,
even the aspect of Shadow Moon coming back was just kind of baffling to me. I'm like, didn't you die? Like,
right, and then like, wasn't it settled that Kotaru was the Century King?
Yeah. So when he pops back in, I was like, I guess he comes back bigger and bolder somehow.
And you would think. And you would think they would give my man a power boost or a new form or some shit. Like,
he just got spikier legs and 2, shadow sabers. That's about it.
Sure.
I mean, because Prime, he dual wheels shadow sabers. Dope. It's badass, right? Cool.
How do you do, fellow kids? I'm for real. Like, that shit really did feel like it was corporate mandated. Like, he pops back, then fucks off for most of his episodes, and then comes back to just get beaten. Like, what? Like, you would think there'd be a plot where he'd be like trying to undermine the Crisis Empire or try to like.
I mean, he was flexing on him in that base.
Right. Like,
remember he walked up in that base and stuff, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to be the one to kill RX, not none of you assholes. And I'm like, all right, cool. Nothing.
And I'm like, that does not match the Shadow Moon that I know from Kamen Rider Black, bro.
That's that last I remember. It's like there was a bit of a character progression, and then it's like, well, he's out for revenge for 0 reasons.
Sure.
Dope toy though.
I mean, fantastic. Get that shiny metal, his belt. You resell his belt. Like, I see you, Bandai.
I mean, was it nice to see Kotaru transform into his other forms against Robo Rider because we got to sell these toys? Sure, but the plot just didn't make any goddamn sense.
I feel like if that happened now, well, let's say there's a Kamen Rider that got a direct sequel like this,
yeah,
and his arch nemesis came back like that. Like, I feel like either that would have had like at least an 8-episode arc, or he would have been the final bad of the show.
Had to have been. Which I gotta admit, another little key thing. I don't know if you noticed this. You ever notice that even with Kotaro getting those forms, he always like ended the fight like going right back to like regular Black RX and just
stab them niggas in the chest, in the stomach. Yeah,
it's like the money shot. Ugh.
That fucking pole. Which, by the way, even when I was watching Masked Rider as a kid, I knew something was up because how it was cut.
Shot the
by
beam.
How
he
the little beam comes out the sword. I'm just like, I feel like y'all are missing something.
And then come to find out, like, you can't stab. Well, standards and practices back then, kids. You you couldn't show a Kamen Rider stabbing
Through
somebody
motherfucker.
through people, you know, which is why if you watch VR Troopers, if you know anything about Spillbane, people are getting killed in that show and stabbing, and that's why when you watch VR Troopers, they kind of had to cut certain angles to it to make not look like he got stabbed or something like that, you know. So,
And I just had the funniest thought. Like, I feel like I think like if Masked Rider did better in the ratings, do you think they would have went back in season 2 would have been Kamen Rider Black?
Prime, if the dubbing of the 10 Kamen Riders and Masked Riders an indication, I don't think so, man.
I mean, like, I'm dead serious. You think?
But how would you would that be like, you know, Zex his dad, I guess we follow the adventures of him, I guess, or some shit.
No, I mean, like, they would have did like a Power
JoJo and
they would have like they just would have reversed it. Like, it would have been like Dex just gets the black powers. That's the power up form.
Damn,
like,
that would have been, but that would have been weird because now you're going back to square one now in no form. So how you going to sell toys?
You would just say that Black is stronger, just like they said, like, the Turbo Mega, just like they said the Turbo Megazord is stronger than the Dino Megazord. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, sure.
Zeo Megazord, which the Zeo crystals, which gets powerful and powerful and powerful.
You know, okay, Bandai, sure.
Apparently, turbo powers are stronger than Zeo powers. Apparently.
Right. You gonna look me dead in my eye and tell me the Turbo Megazord is stronger than the Dragon Zord? Oh, okay.
The Lightspeed Rescue Zord is powerful than that fucking Turbo Zord. They have a train. It's in the Defender Wheel.
The Defender Wheel.
Oh man, like, dude, see, now as we keep talking about it, I was like, dude, you could have had, like, you really Shadow Moon fighting the fucking shader. That shit would have fucking still worked.
Listen.
God damn it, Prime. I hate that you put that shit in my head now.
I mean, I can't do nothing with it because what's gonna happen to it now? Nothing. Boom won't even give you a comic book. You know what? If I had my fucking way, which I'll never get my way. I would actually straight up do a comic book version of the Boom universe of a superhero Tyson and get all the Saban heroes in one book together.
Oh man, I do the boys, VR Troopers, and
I do that shit. I
mean, hey, I mean, whoever, I don't know who owns the rights to fucking VR Troopers at this point.
It's not Hasbro. Didn't go with the whole. I mean, it would have to be Hasbro because they're in the fucking Boom comic books.
Maybe it is Hasbro.
Because I thought they got the whole Saban library shit.
Yeah, so you're right.
I could be wrong though. Somebody heat check me.
Nah. But like I said, when old boy comes down and he's representing the Crisis Emperor, that's when shit really starts popping off.
He comes through those PPEs.
Oh yeah, he comes through, and it's basically the whole time this dude is just being a major asshole to everybody, even Jark, which is weird because it's like you start feeling the power struggle happening with the Crisis Empire, where it's like Jark and him are like kind of like button heads a bit, where he's not really like, it doesn't feel like he's in control anymore.
Do you feel in charge, Jark?
Don't choke on your ambitions. Sorry, that was a dope line in Rogue One when he did that shit. I was like, God damn, like
the best dad joke in the Star Wars universe.
Some funny ass dad. I need to give somebody who wrote that script for that movie a raise after that shit.
Yeah, no, it's probably got fucking fired and booted because clearly not still working there. Clearly not there. Oh wait, or is he working on Andor?
Probably on Andor,
Which by the way, I'll renew my subscription in May when the shit is dropped.
Prime terrorism has never looked so dope.
That fight the establishment.
Oh, people, you need to understand. The rebels, they're terrorists. Don't get the game twisted, but terrorism.
The astronaut meme always has been.
I remember Star Wars. I think when Star Wars Rebels came out, right? Somebody, I think it might have been on Twitter at that time, was like, man, it's crazy. The rebels, they're terrorists. It's like are imitating life. And I'm like, you just now figured that shit out.
You
Like,
just not connecting that shit. Like,
of course they're terrorists. Like, yeah.
Also, shout out to Admiral Mutton Chops from Rebels, my OG. Stupid sexy mutton chops.
Nah, but dude, like Jark literally loses control. And it's kind of funny to me because up to that point, you thought Jark was just the guy. And then that happens, and it's like, oh, so Jark really isn't that dude. Even though he tries to be that dude.
Yeah, Dash Mauder came in and King Dingaling harder.
Until Dasmonder found out that he was supposed to be the vessel for said Emperor.
Yeah, it's like, nice shell you got there, bro.
Could use that.
Be awfully shame if somebody were to hijack that.
Oh, I like how Jark basically tried to step up, like, "Hey, I'm going to fight Black RX," and the Emperor was like, "Nah, buddy, you're not strong enough. So now you got to go." I was like, you didn't even give him a chance to even just take a swing at RX before you did that shit, and then you kind of find out that he's giving him a shot, and then boom, he gives him kind of like a beefed up form. And I think that's where I was like, we could have had that as the finale to Masked Rider, and we would have been fine.
Like, yeah, why wasn't that the end of with the Masked Rider Warrior arc there?
Which Masked Rider Warriors, that was a thing. But watching it in Black RX and finding out that it's the other Showa Era riders that actually, okay, certain shows that do this, you can actually dig when they give you stuff that happened off screen, or they tell you stuff about off screen. So basically, the 10 Kamen Riders, they were essentially fighting Crisis all over the world until they found out that they were actually attacking Japan.
Which, by the way, where the fuck were y'all 6 months ago when that cult took over Tokyo? And there's like that evil fucking fog. Like, what?
Prop is called, hey, let them fight. We won't interfere.
Like, where the fuck were y'all? I was getting my ass whooped in the middle of the street, up and down the streets by Shadow Moon and them. And they had the city under martial law. What the fuck?
It's called them training in the quarry, as we see in this show.
Throwing boulders at each other.
You motherfuckers fought Crisis agents and said, hey, we're going to go to Japan. We're going to let Kotaro go through his thing before we jump in and help out.
That reminds me of that episode of, was it Ultraman Ace? When the other Ultra Brothers came down. It was like, should we help Ace? It's like, now he's to learn his lesson. What lesson? To get his ass whooped?
That's what the 10 Kamen Riders are there for, man. They're
standing there giving the Batman thumbs up. Good job, sport.
Good job, Kotaro. Good job, Kotaro. We were just hanging back and
you got it, champ. You got it, champ. We'll go to CC's after the game.
Yeah, but yeah, the 10 veteran Kamen Riders come through, and basically they are helping out pretty much all the way through the finale until they basically say, "Hey, you got this with the Emperor. We'll hang back." But yeah, they basically play the part as agents, so to speak. Which I gotta admit that I think it is interesting that this was kind of one of those all hands on deck situations and stuff. If this was sort of going to be the final Kamen Rider before they went on hiatus.
Right, and it's really dope because I liked it when they did it in Stronger. I don't know. I just like when the old folks, when the predecessors come back to help the new kids out.
Yeah,
that camaraderie, that brotherhood.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, it actually works for the story, especially if it will. Because again, it's the old thing. The thing about Crisis is that their whole logic is, and even Sassmander even says it like, hey, like, why are you trying to fight us? Like, the human beings out here are already wrecking the earth. So what do you care if we come through and try to subjugate it?
You just answered your own question there, bro.
Which, funny enough, I did find it funny And again, this is to the nature of you just go with the flow. I like how the Crisis Empire and the regular Japanese government actually had a sit down meeting, and that shit got reported in the paper of the deal could not go through.
Shit like that.
It's like that should be stupid, but yet it works for the story. Like
that's that shit I be talking about, man.
I was like, all right, you know what? Fine. I can't even get mad at that. That just works for me. It's like, oh, so clearly, because like when you think about it in the sense of Super Sentai, it would be like if Bandora said, "Hey, I want to speak to the UN," and it's like, really, like why? Oh, cool. But in this instance, it just makes sense to see that, I guess, relationship. But then again, that goes back to what you just said. That's a very Metal Hero thing to do.
Telling you my favorite, and like to be fair, like if I'm not mistaken, I think that writers' room was like packed with like Metal Hero alumni and people who will go on to do a lot of Metal Hero shit. Like, wasn't one of the head writers Soul Brain and Exceed Draft in the room?
So the writers' room? No, I'm looking at the writers now. So you had Kenji, Araki, Black RX. Ah, man. So we got some that did Skyrider and Super 1. Shin Kamen Rider Prelude. No, so we got one of the writers that was on Kamen Rider Black. Yeah, just one that was a Metal Hero, Space Sheriff Gavin.
No, I think there were more than that, dog. I think
I'm only going by like what's shown on here.
Let's let me, because I think we had Mashita, I think Yamada, and I think Sajiyama. I think they were big Metal Hero folk.
Okay.
I think. Am I? Let me look it up. Hold on.
Kamen Rider Black RX. Doing research live, baby.
We are professionals.
Hey Jamie, can you pull this up right now?
Oh, it says there that
Joe Rogan. I wish I had an IMDb, but yeah. You might be right though. You might be right. I ain't.
Hold on.
Do they not have?
I know I'm tripping, but I'm not tripping that hard, am I?
I don't think you're tripping. So one of the guys that's doing it, he did Go Ranger, he did Kikator.
Wasn't that one of the producers? What's his name?
Producer,
blank on his name.
Ishinomori.
Well, no, that's Ishinomori. That's Shotaro, the creator of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, that's
which I think also this was the last rider that he had direct involvement with. I think he did if I'm not mistaken, he didn't do the complete RX. I think he just did like some preliminary sketches, and he did the head for RX's design for RX's head, and I think he did a lot of the monsters for like the later half of the show.
Okay.
And then he unfortunately passed away in, I think, 98. He died in 98.
And
I think, the last one, I think if I'm not mistaken, didn't he do like concept designs for Kuuga?
Yeah.
Like he did like preliminary sketches. And I think that's what Kuga's look is based on, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But the last one that had his direct involvement was Black RX.
Yeah. I do think it is kind of interesting that, like, essentially, because a lot of the people didn't understand, like, why is it after Black RX? How come we didn't get another Kamen Rider? So what happened was Black RX came out 89 and it finished out its season in 1990. what happened was you had the economic crash in Japan that happened in 1990. And when that happened, companies were like, hey, if we're doing all this toku stuff, we need stuff that's actually going to be a safe bet. And Super Sentai was more of the safer bet than Kamen Rider, which is why you didn't get anything from Kamen Rider until, was it ZJ and Shin?
Yeah, testing the waters.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, wouldn't that be the third time that Kamen Rider stopped? Yeah, it is, because they stopped after Stronger.
Yeah.
Then they kicked back up at Sky Rider, then stopped at Super One.
Check.
Well, stopped Super One. Then they did the Z Cross special, because Z Cross was supposed to be a show, but they just
Yeah,
made
you're
it
right. Yeah. Because Stronger to Sky Rider, that's a 4-year break. And then Sky Rider is 89, 81. Oh, yeah. So after Super One went on break until Black in 87. So that was a 6-year break. And then Black RX. And then basically you didn't get anything until Kuuga, but where is it? What's the movie?
TV show wise, because I think
So Zoe was 93, Jay was 94, Shin was 92. So 90, 92, 93, 94, you get those, but that was whatever. And then 94, you had Kamen Rider World.
Yeah, if you haven't, there's a really great interview on the Media Blasters Kamen Rider trilogy set, where the director talked about how he was approached to do those movies.
Okay.
I would definitely recommend watching that, because it gives a really good insight on Toei's mind frame at the time.
Which, by the way, my DVD comes in 2 weeks. Got the
fantastic.
Got the Amazon notification. I was like, yes.
I double dipped and I bought the standard edition as well.
Oh, see, gotta support the brand.
Gotta
support the brand.
The only objective is the agenda, sir.
Yeah, it's the Kamen Rider agenda, Toku agenda, as we all say.
Devoted to the mission.
Yeah, but anyways, but yeah, going back to the show though, like basically, I did like just the systematic buildup of the generals getting killed. Like I said, one of the generals was like, yo, I don't need this monster to beat Kamen Rider, because again, pride, ego, and all that stuff comes into play, which is great. And it actually makes for great drama, because even then, I like how the stakes were so high that even when you have these 10 veteran riders, those 10 veteran riders are getting their ass whooped too. They ain't just in there just to bullyfoot anybody.
Right. And shout out to the suit only cameos.
Yeah, of course they're not gonna have them.
Like y'all sleeping them. Y'all sleeping them things? Oh, okay.
Cool. You don't take mask off. You're just Mandalorians now. Is that what it is?
Oh.
Like, all right,
cool. Right. That's what this is the way. Oh, okay.
Suit stinks.
Smells like apples and feet.
But yeah, it's like basically everything is there. Like even one of the monsters that comes down like a fireball, like he is literally fucking all of them up and stuff. And Otaru has to like make a sacrifice that everybody thinks that he's dead. And then Bobby pops up, the foil old girl, who is pretty much at that point, I think she's like the last one that's still surviving out of everything. And I think she probably got the worst of it, if you want to talk deaths.
Oh, what you said.
Because Emperor Crisis pretty much was just like, yeah, I don't need you anymore. You got to go. And I'm like, wow. Okay, so we just don't care about anybody. Well,
old boy could have been worse. You could have got what old boy from the original Kamen Rider got when the great leader threw his ass under the bus. It was like, yeah, we're merging organizations there, Colonel Zoll. Oh, well,
are we?
You can get fucked. Wait, what?
No. Oh man, Eris always tells me this, but he's right, man. That shit with fucking General Septum getting yeeted out the plane and gun to wing and then getting shot midair is like,
was that necessary? Yes.
it's ridiculous, but necessary.
Look, he could have grabbed the tree branch and lay down. You don't know anything can happen. This is anime. You got to make sure.
Also, that's how much that scene solidified how dope anime is, because that is a very just like, oh, so y'all just had a trap door under there and just that's it.
Was it the Bane quote? He's probably wondering what type of man would throw a man from a plane and then shoot him.
Apparently, Lady Un does that.
Lady Un is the one who does that. That's the type of man that does it. Which, by the way, bitch, you crazy. You fine as fuck. Bitch, you crazy as hell. Bitch, you fine as fuck. Bitch, you crazy as motherfucker.
It's like, get your bipolar under control, man.
I'm like, have you taken your medication today, Lady Un?
Like,
you sure it's not Lady 2? Because you crazy as fuck, bitch.
Oh man, but nah, like basically that happens, and like I said, I totally forgot. Like, oh man, like you said, the parents getting killed. It was like, oh shit, that did happen. Damn.
So I just felt it was so unnecessary, so unneeded.
Couldn't survive to the end. We gotta get more hardships out of this. Kill them.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think it fit tonally with the rest of the show.
That your only like mark against it?
I think that'd be one of my one marks is like that. I don't think that was called for. I don't think that was necessary.
You know, you got up the stakes there. So, you know, kill.
I don't know. I think the martial law, that was enough, and having them not be in their homes. I think
martial law shit was pretty hardcore. I ain't gonna lie.
I think having the monsters roam and shit. I think that stakes enough there, bro.
Very, very, very much so. Which, by the way, I love the fighting in this show. The way the scenes are, like, love the fights are. Again, it has that Showa style Kamen Rider with the jump cuts of like, okay, and again, silliness of the show, and that's why I loved it. There be multiple times in this show where they be fighting in a one scene, and then like Kotaru kicks a monster, and then boom, they're in the quarry all of a sudden.
I'm like, how fucking hard did he kick that dude?
It's like you were in the park and now you're in a quarry. Like, what happened here? But again, you just roll with it. Like, all right, fuck it, why not? You know, that's just what it is. So, I don't know. Did you have any standout episodes or just monsters?
Damn, I liked the was that the robot mantis that was kind of like a Kamen Rider that he fought. I like that whole arc when he went to the demon world when he fucked around with Joe the Mist. Like I just love that whole stretch because it was like I said, a little mini arc, a little mini movie. I like that showdown he had with the cyborg biker.
Yes.
That shit, that's just the template. That's the blueprint right there. I think that's all that's jumping at me at the moment right now.
Yeah, I think for me, like, again, Shadow Moon definitely was pointless, but at the same time, I was like,
that fight was dope.
That fight was dope. Ain't gonna lie. The fight that he had that transformed him into the Prince of Sorrow, I did enjoy that. Just the aspect of just he's discovering these powers and just the way he used it, and again, first time the scene even pops off, it's like this the RoboCop influence was like heavy in that scene.
I mean, the RoboCop inspiration.
Was this before RoboCop 1?
Was this before RoboCop? It had to have been, was it? Nah, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't.
Or after.
Either which way. Because it was for Jabon, right? Because it wasn't. Yeah, Jabon was the inspiration of RoboCop, right?
Yeah. So technically.
Am I misremembering that right?
So technically.
Let me get my time frame right, because I'm tripping. Now I'm bugging out. Hold on. So Jibon came out in. Y'all not gonna help me out, chat? This kid came out in.
Said G-Bon.
All right, so in 89 was Jabon.
Mm-hmm.
RoboCop came out in
87.
87. Oh shit! So it wasn't Jabon.
Huh?
Then what was it that inspired RoboCop? Because that's
What was the Metal Hero?
What's the matter? It must have been a space sheriff then.
Had been a space sheriff. So it's probably like Gavin. Had to have been.
Cause yeah,
See, Black when he has me thing because he's like, I thought Gavin was inspired by RoboCop. I'm like, was it?
No, it was. I thought it was the other way around. I thought they were watching the Toku. Am I tripping? Am I missing my story?
I mean, I don't think so. I wouldn't think so.
Hold on,
man. We really.
Am I? I'm not bugging. Am I bugging?
So Gavin is 82. So yeah. So RoboCop. Yeah, RoboCop was inspired by Gavin. Yeah, I think RoboCop was inspired by Gavin because Gavin was 82.
It had to be because, I remember the interview. They talked about the armor was the inspiration.
Yeah.
Then why is this telling me Jabon inspired Gavin? Then how the fuck? Who wrote this article? Who the fuck? What misinformation shit? Hold on.
Is it not? Is it AI, sir?
It has to be AI because now I'm seeing motherfuckers saying Gavin inspired RoboCop inspired Gavin because ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
This is what I'm talking. This is what I'm talking. See, this is the shit. This is the shit we talked about that last episode. We talked about Hibiki, how motherfuckers just spread misinformation. You see what I'm talking about?
Fake news.
You know what I'm talking about?
Fake news.
You know what? Fuck. You know I'm not.
You know what? No,
I remember the interview, dude. I remember the interview from one of the DVD sets, and they talked about they saw this show in Japan. I'm not tripping. I know I'm not tripping.
All right. Cool. Nah, but it's just those, and also just like I said, the aesthetic. Here's the thing. I like the supporting cast. I think that's the big standout for me because I liked how you saw the progression, like I said, from Joe being the sort of like he didn't get sidelined, like he was still a very active part of the group. The kids were very active in their endeavors. Stupid at times, but hey, again, you just roll with the punches.
Made dumb choices, but yeah,
you know it is what it is. So I think those are the things that stood out to me on top of the action and stuff. So it felt very much like you were rooting for everything. And like I said, like the parents getting killed, you do kind of feel like, damn, we were there. So yeah, that's essentially for me. I think Kamen Rider Black RX, if you get a chance to, definitely go to Amazon, buy the Blu-ray of it because it's worth the money for the extras alone, personally.
Didn't they have an interview with Kotaro's actor?
Yes. That's one of the interviews on the DVD. Hold on, let me grab it so I can show it.
Hold on, I'm still trying to figure out this RoboCop thing because Gavin came out in '82, so it had to be that Gavin inspired RoboCop. It had to be. But then why are all these articles saying
so like Black RX? Definitely buy it. It's worth it. It's the greatest thing ever. 1080p Black RX is great as hell.
Like it's a great transfer. I don't think it looks as good as the Gavin transfer though, but it's pretty good.
I think because the Gavin transfers, if I remember correctly, is like the actual masters.
I think so.
Yeah, because it's easier if you have the actual masters and not just a TV recording copy. Yeah, the masters you can actually, and that's also the reason why the Ultra Q looks so good.
Ultra Q through Leo because they had the masters and those shits were recorded on film and not digital.
And that's why Gavin was recorded on film, so they had the masters for those. So Gavin definitely looks clean as hell.
Wait, because hold on, what's Black RX? I don't think Black RX was recorded on digital. In fact, I think Black RX might have been the last one they did on film. But they probably didn't send them the masters though. I know Toei ain't sending no goddamn masters.
But at the same time, it still looks good.
I don't even think they sent the masters. Yeah, it still looks good. I don't even think they sent masters to Saban now that I'm thinking about it.
I don't think so. I think
I think they just
said,
sent them
"Hey,
tapes.
yeah." It was like, "Here's the tapes. Have at it."
Because I remember who was that? They were talking about how they cleaned up the footage, like because they didn't have the original. They didn't have the massacres, but they had to do like color correcting and color coding to
Yeah.
clean up the footage. Because you see that video a long time ago where somebody posted a shot side by side of Lost Galaxy and Ginga Man of the same scene,
Mm-hmm.
and how the version that Toei was selling on DVD looked like dull and muted, but the version from Lost Galaxy looked better because they actually cleaned up and made the footage like crisper.
Wow.
But it was only so much they can do because they didn't have the masters.
Damn.
If I can remind me, I gotta look for that shit because somebody, I think they either posted it on Twitter or YouTube. I can't remember which.
Wow. But yeah, definitely get Black RX on Blu-ray. It is definitely worth it.
Definitely.
It's worth it. I'm like I said, V3 is out. I actually got to get it. So I have V3. I'm really kind of curious on if they're going to actually go full tilt and we get the other ones through.
Like I'm tripping because Discotheque did say that Kamen Rider X is coming out, and I'm still waiting on the pre-orders to go up.
Yeah, because that would be totally worth it.
Not Discotheque getting the goddamn Wikipedia page. Hold on.
Oh, Discotheque gave you that. Wow, they
no. Discotheque has they have an entry on the Kamen Rider wiki.
Oh, okay.
List of Blu-ray releases.
Oh yeah.
V3
Black and Black RX. Yep.
Like, and where's Kamen Rider X? Where's Kamen Rider X, bro?
Yeah, Kamen Rider X includes. Did they have the pre-order up already?
That's what I'm trying to find out, bro.
That is.
I'm trying to give y'all money.
Do you want my money?
You just heard I double dipped on some shit I didn't have to double dip on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because it was announced on Blu-ray and they had the Man, yeah, that's gonna. Okay, I see. There's the artwork for it. It's not final. It's on Blu-ray.com.
Says coming in 2025, but we don't know when. Okay.
Well, hey, look.
Look. You know what? You know what? I'll be there.
Hey, look. Support your physical media, people, because trust me, it will be worth it. But yeah, it's Kamen Rider Black RX, man. I think you folks should definitely watch it. Even though me and Prime spoiling aspects of it and stuff, but watch it. Trust me, it is.
Yeah, because we didn't spoil every episode. Like, and it's definitely one of the. It's tonally different from Black, but I will say is really one of the GOAT entries. I would say if you could, you don't, even though you don't have to, I would say watch Black and Black RX back to back just to get their full effect. But you don't have to. You can pick one or the other to start with.
Yeah, either which way. I mean, that's that, so it'll definitely be good. But at any rate, what should we do next?
Now we still have to do our live stream of the Hibiki movie at some point.
Yes.
And I kind of want to watch Ultraman Taiga because a buddy of mine really wants to hear my opinion on that, and I started halfway through, and I keep stopping, keep getting sidetracked.
All right. So
ironically, watching shows for this show.
Tiga.
So you can watch Taiga. Finally.
Yeah.
We haven't done Blade yet, have we? Kamen Rider Blade?
No, we have not.
We have not. Okay.
Should do that.
So
Kamen Rider Blade.
Let's put this to the audience. So of the paths that go down, should we do Taiga first? Because I gotta do Taiga for the culture from a guy.
All right.
Should we do Taiga next, or should we do the Hibiki live stream next? And then after one of those, then we'll do Blade.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry. After both of those, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. So either we do the live stream or Tiger next, but once we do both of those things, then we'll do Blade.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Put this to the culture. Put that
Yeah,
in the culture.
put that in the culture. Put that in the
Okay.
culture.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
That works. So with that in mind, we will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Auf Wiedersehen, my dudes.
That boy is Benny Hanna.